CREEM was a rock magazine from 1969 to 1989 based in Detroit, Michigan that provided a voice sorely needed in today's world. It served up a sense of guerrilla journalism with no holds barred and almost anything was game. Iggy Pop said, "CREEM was a 7-Eleven mag. It was like you should have read CREEM with a Slurpee. It was a nice thing." Alice Cooper said, "CREEM rocked as much as the bands. It was the same attitude. The staff of CREEM didn't just come to the shows to write about them. They came to rock." The list of writers reads more like a super team roster. There was Lester Bangs, or America's greatest rock critic, who was known for his brutal honesty in reviews and interviews. Quote, "Well, basically I just started out to lead with the most insulting question I could think of, because it seemed to me that the whole thing of interviewing as far as rock stars and that was just such a suck-up. It was groveling obeisance to people who weren't that special, really. It's just a guy, just another person. So what?" End quote. Cameron Crowe, who has written for Rolling Stone for years and is a very accomplished director with Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Almost Famous under his belt, the latter actually being about his time as a rock writer. Dave Marsh, who was the first to pen the term punk in a 1971 issue, and also wrote in 1983, quote, "Journey was a dead end for San Francisco area rock," end quote, which just makes me smile. Robert Christgau, who upon Lennon's death quoted his wife in saying, "Why is it always Bobby Kennedy or John Lennon? Why isn't it Richard Nixon or Paul McCartney?" Ouch. He was also what Sonic Youth wrote Kill Your Idols about, it originally being titled, "I Killed Christgau with My Big Fucking Dick." Plus, they had actual musicians commenting on bands. Wow, now isn't that refreshing? To hear what other musicians might have to say other than a journalist? Well, some of them included Richard Meltzer, who was in Blue Oyster Cult, Rob Tyner, lead singer of the MC5 and the man who delivered the epic "Kick out the jams, motherfuckers" line, Patti Smith, "Nuff said," and Peter Launer from Rocket from the Tombs, Pere Ubu, and considered at one point to be a replacement in television. Well, shit, you've got my attention. While being from the Detroit area, the magazine heavily featured the likes of local bands Alice Cooper, the Stooges, the MC5, and Parliament Funkadelic. I mean, shit, to have these bands going on in your backyard at almost the same time? Talk about a not often spoke of scene. These guys just knew what they were talking about. They were some dead honest music-loving motherfuckers. They were championing the names of David Bowie, Lou Reed, Roxy Music, the New York Dolls, Blondie, R.E.M., The Replacements, The Smiths, The Cure, Motorhead, Kiss, Judas Priest, Van Halen. Whew. All before other magazines would even touch these guys. And was the material all serious, dignified rock journalism? Hell no. CREEM had an extremely healthy sense of humor. Extremely healthy. For starters, an article on The Who comes to my mind. Let me quote some of it for you. Quote, "See Keith Moon. See him guzzle. We do not see the Who toke, but we do see them guzzle. A lot. Guzzle, Keith, guzzle. Guzzle, guzzle, guzzle. See Roger Daltrey. See him scream. Scream, Roger, scream. You are better at it than Joe Cocker. See John Entwistle, if you can." End quote. Also, there's the June 1973 issue where Alice Cooper gives his hangover cure drink. Oh, and then there was Backstage where they had plenty of photos of bands and celebs of the time, all with some less than flattering captions. And then there was CREEM's Profiles, which featured a celeb or band of the time drinking the fictional Boy Howdy beer, which was a direct spoof of Darewar's Profiles, which was an upscale scotch trying to put off an air of sophistication. And then there was Star's Cars, which sometimes ended up being Joe Perry in his smashed-up auto, or the Ramones in a complete beater, or maybe George Clinton with his garbage truck. There was seriously so much in this that I'm jealous I wasn't able actually to catch this magazine back in its heyday. The closest I have now is looking at scans online or catching a back issue here and there, which is unfortunate and all, but what matters is not the source is gone, but that the inspiration lives on. All that matters is that the ideals continue and people continue to get passionate about the music they love and aren't afraid to speak up against the music that television or the media is willing to shove down your throat. We need more people with the cojones to do this. To paraphrase a great quote, it's up to the people to make sure music doesn't get as stale as it has for the last 10 years.